Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here. Don't mind this. This is my shifting gear, and we have no choice but for it to join us in this clip, so there's that. Welcome to another Ultimate Book video. I just uploaded one of these, and that's because these are one of my favorite videos to film. I know you guys love to watch them too, and today we are going to be reading my most anticipated release. I am literally parked outside of Barnes right now. They're about to open. I'm about to go in and grab Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I feel like the feeling of a release day in the book community is so fun, just because I know that all of us are reading the same book at the same time and like having the same experiences and stuff like that. I just feel like that is so cool. And obviously opinions might be mixed or whatever, but it's just a really cool experience to be reading the same book at the same time as other people. I actually just finished my Powerless reread, which was on audio. It was so good. If you don't reread books before like the next one in the series comes out, highly recommend. Even just doing it on audio, it makes the experience that much more. That's really it. I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. This is my most anticipated release of the year. So like, I'm kind of scared that I hyped it up in my head, but like coming from this book, like right off this book, like I'm just like so excited now. I also did make a Powerless playlist on Spotify. So if you guys want to check that out while you're reading and we can like listen to that as we read together, I also posted it on my Instagram and I'm really excited to listen to it. Okay, before I yap too much, let's go ahead and go get Reckless finally. I'm so excited. Time for our first official Reckless update. I feel like I'm giving like 2013 vibes right now, and I really don't know how I feel about it. For some reason, my part looks like it's a side part when it's literally a middle part, and I don't know what to do. And the side braid is just really giving that. And the shirt, I don't know what to tell you. The first thing that I want to say is that I have all three of my Powerless series right here. These are all three of the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions. I think the only other book that I have is just the UK version of Powerless, which is literally my prized possession of my baby because it's tabbed and underlined and it's so beautiful. Here's the novella. We're not really comparing that right now. I mean, we all know she's a little bit smaller, but this is Powerless, the first one, okay? Look at that. Look at the thickness. This is Reckless. A lot shorter than I was expecting, to be completely honest. Normally, whenever I go into a series, the second one in the series is a lot longer than the first one, and they just keep getting longer and longer and longer, or like relatively, say, around the same size. This is quite different. This one is about like 100-ish pages more, which I think is just interesting because again, normally that is not the norm for series. So I'm kind of interested to see how we end. I feel like normally whenever authors do that, when there's not too much fluff, which is a big thing that I enjoyed with Powerless, and we get to the point. There's just not useless things going on that simply I don't need to know about. I also realized I did not give a brief synopsis of this world. Now I can't say too much obviously because this is a sequel, but basically in this world we live in the kingdom of Isla where there are ordinaries and elites. Elites have powers and their powers range from super mundane things to super crazy things. And ordinaries do not have powers. Ordinaries are seen as almost their own plague on the elite society. So if they find an elite, they're kind of done for. Elites are not welcome. They are exiled in this society in Isla. And they basically got exiled during what was called the Purging. And so in the first book, they go through these trials. They're like in honor of the Purging. They're called the Purging Trials. Who would have thought? And all of these younger elites get to participate in the purging trials. The purging trials are known as an honor, and the children who are in it, I guess they're not children, they're more like teens. They see it as an honor. And we are following Peyton, who is an ordinary posing to be an elite, and Kai, who is an elite who is actually a prince and the future enforcer for the kingdom of Isla. And it's dual POV. It's great. This one is also dual POV. We're still following Kai and Peyton, and the enemies to lovers tension is still happening in this one so greatly. And I do have to say, this one did start out with a pretty good bang. It had my adrenaline pumping right from the first little bit, and then we kind of go into a slower portion, which even for this, it wasn't even that slow. It was just slow compared to what I'm used to. I guess different is a better word for it, because during the last book we get so much banter between Kai and Peyton, which is probably my favorite part of these books, just because the way that they talk to each other is so good, like kicking my feet giggling good. And they're kind of going on their own little journeys in a way, but they're also connected, so we don't get as much as that in this part. So I think it just felt different and like slower in a way to me, but I still really enjoyed that part, even for it being the slower part of this book. Once we got to the banter parts though, you know I was eating that up and giggling and kicking my feet. And even when we weren't, the way that Kai talks about her, even whenever she's not there, just in his head, the way that he thinks about her, all those things, like these tabs, a lot of them are tabs about the way that he talks about her. Now I'm not gonna say any quotes. I will probably put some quotes in the spoiler portion at the end, but oh my gosh, the writing is just so romantic and lyrical, but not in a way that makes it confusing. It's just so beautifully strewn about, and I just really love it. The way that he thinks about her is everything, and you can see too that he thinks about her in other moments that you're not really like, oh, he's thinking about her, because he's not like explicitly saying it. But one thing about Peyton is that she has silver hair, and he keeps saying that he sees silver, like even whenever she's not around. Like he'll explain like a silver sunrise, or I see like silver in the trees, or just something like that, which I just thought was such a nice touch, and truly added to the fact that he cannot stop thinking about her even subconsciously. Overall, I am really enjoying it so far. I am at page... What? Okay, that freaked me out a little bit. That was just some random bookshelf decor. That was weird. Anyways, I am on page 152, about to start chapter 21. I have tabbed quite a bit. My tabbing is like very specific. I'm doing a tab for like more like lovey-dovey moments, or like quotes that prove that they're really in love. Just basically me rooting for them the entire time, because I am rooting for them. Important plot points, or just plot points that I really enjoy. Plot points with another important character in this series that I think are going to be important later. I just wanted to do that in a different color. So I only have 3 colors going on right now. I'll probably add another color later as we're going on, because that's what I do most of the time whenever I get like really important plot points or really important things that I know I'm gonna like need to remember later. And even though this one is shorter than Powerless, I think it's going to take me longer to finish. I've already said that this is my most anticipated release of this year, and the past few times that I have been really excited for a book, I have been mostly let down, if we're being completely honest. In one way or another, it just doesn't exactly, like even if it is a 5-star, like I just overhype it in my mind and I get way too excited, and I just don't want that to happen with this book. And I was already feeling that before it came out. I was really excited, obviously, because I wanted to read the book, but I was just so nervous it wasn't gonna live up to my expectations. Right now, I'm enjoying it so much, but I'm finding that I need to make sure I'm in the perfect mood to read it. And if I'm not in the mood to read a fantasy, or I'm just not in the mood to read period, I'm not gonna ruin my reading experience just because I feel like I need to read for a video, because I can only read this for the first time once, and I think I need to start remembering that more. I think Destiny Sidwell said that in a video lately, and I just like, she is so right. That's how I've been feeling about Kingdom of Ash lately too. You only get to read a book for the first time one time, so I really want to savor this book and take my time with it, but I'm still just really nervous that, I don't know, for some reason I'm not gonna like it. But I need to stop thinking like that. I just need to read and take in all the information, because right now I really just am enjoying it so much. It's doing what Powerless did. It's giving me the banter, it's giving me the enemies to lovers, it's giving me an interesting plot, a strong female main character. I love Peyton so much, and Kai is just everything. I love how he's also not afraid to be like vulnerable in ways too. I mean, it's a little bit different in this one because of what happens in the other one, but I love being able to see his thoughts, and it just reminds me how much I love dual POV as well. But yeah, I don't know, I really am enjoying it so far. 150-ish pages left of Reckless. One thing I wanted to say is that Fearless, the third book in the trilogy, is coming out next April. So excited, but also not sure how to feel, I guess, because I haven't finished this one yet. I'm not exactly sure how I'm feeling towards this book yet. When I was reading the beginning of it, I was kicking my feet giggling, and I still am. There are still such great lines in here. I love their dialogue, I love their banter, I love the way that they think about each other all the time. It's just the plot kind of has me a little bit not confused. I don't know. It's so different than the first book, which I've already said, but this one just kind of feels like the adventures of Peyton and Kai, which I know doesn't really make like a ton of sense, but I kind of just want, I need some plot. I think that's what I'm saying. I need some plot. And there's honestly just been like a bunch of things that have been happening just like randomly, but it doesn't really like play into anything. Like it plays into the romance, I guess, but I just feel like I'm not gonna know how I'm gonna feel about it until I'm at the very end. One thing I do have to say though is that these characters know each other so well. They know all the little tics that each other gives, how they're lying, when they're feeling embarrassed, when they like something, when they don't, like all of those sorts of things. Like they know each other so well. Like they could probably narrate their entire feelings for a chapter. That's how well they know each other. And I also love how the chapters are super short. It just keeps things kind of like fast paced and going. But overall, at this moment in time, I just feel conflicted. I think I just really need like something big to happen. I don't know. I think I just need to keep reading and take a deep breath and not get so freaked out. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say on Reckless for right now. I'm actually going to start on my reading journal. I'm very excited. I have a few pages to update, and then I need to do my monthly spreads for May and June. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish June, but I at least want to start it. In the last Ultimate Book video, we spent a lot of time updating my reading journal, and I finally figured out how to do printed books with like sticky like label type things on the back, so they just like stick on. I don't have to tape them, but I don't have all of the books that I wanted for my June spread. Like I think I only have 2 because that's how many that fit on the page, and I printed them out like in the middle of last month, so I didn't know all the books I'd be reading anyways. So I don't really know. We don't have a printer that works at home, because I've also just been thinking about printing off the books and just like putting double-sided tape on them and doing it that way too, because it's probably gonna be cheaper, and I don't want to waste like a full page of like my label making paper just by printing out like a few books, because they're literally like this big. Let's go ahead and start off by updating all my pages first, and then we will move into the monthly spreads. I think I've updated my reading journal to as much as I kind of can for right now. I'll go ahead and show you the things that I updated. I updated my monthly reading tracker with June, so I just colored it in. I actually read the least amount of books last month, because I read 7 books last month, which honestly, reading any amount of books is a win for me, and as long as I'm keeping up with my reading goal, I truly don't care. I didn't update this because I had it updated from last month, and I'm only gonna do that at the end of each month so that I can actually like keep track with what I'm adding, but I still am really obsessed with this page. Also didn't update this because didn't read any books on it. love that. I updated my series tracker a little bit. I just filled in the last Heartstopper book because I read that last month, and then I colored in 3 of my reading bucket list squares. I colored in reread because I just reread Powerless, and then actually I think in May I reread Love Theoretically, and then I did new author, which is Alice Osman, and then I also did Lit Fic because I just read The Storied Life of AJ Fickery, which I actually read in a vlog. It's not like an ultimate book video or anything like that, or a reading vlog. I just read it in a regular vlog because I couldn't put it down. So my thoughts on that will be coming very soon, and I am very excited to talk about it. Okay, and then skipping to my May and my June wrap up. This is my May wrap up. What I'm doing right now is I'm not printing out all the books that I end up reading. I'm just printing out like my favorites or my 5-star reads, or just books that I really want to like remember that I read. So we have all the books right here, and then I wrote about my tandem read because that was like a big monumental thing that I did that month, and I feel like tandem reading isn't really like a very common thing to do, so I kind of just want to remember that I did that because I feel still very accomplished about it. And then obviously Abby Jimenez's Just for the Summer was a 5-star that month, so that one, and then As Good as Dead and Heartless were 2 other ones that I really enjoyed that month. We have how many books I read and how many pages. And I also started my June wrap up. I don't have the rest of the books for June yet, so that'll probably be something I do next month, but for right now I just have all the books I read, and then these 2 which I printed out last month with the other books that I already had printed out. Wrote down my 7 books total, and then I drew a little sun in there, super fun and festive for June. And then I don't really know what else I'm gonna do up here. I'll have to wait on the books like I already said, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like every time I do a monthly spread, it becomes my new favorite, which you guys will obviously see in like my end of year reading journal flip through video. But we have progressively come a very, very far way in like format instances, I guess. I kind of like how these are just like very different, and the format's just gonna be very different every month. I like that a lot more than just like having it very planned and stuff, because I don't know, I feel like it's more fun whenever it's less structured, I guess. It's more creative, you know. So yeah, I think May is definitely my favorite monthly spread so far. I feel like I say this in all of my reading journal videos, but let me know if there's any other reading journal pages I should add as I go, because I am just obsessed with it, and I think it's super, super fun, and I love filling out my monthly spreads. So let me know if there's anything you think I should add to the reading journal. Okay, it's a lot later in the day. I actually did a little workout and then got ready, and I'm currently in a sweater and sweatpants because it is just the cruddiest day out. Like, it's just been gross and rainy. It's supposed to be like that all week. Where's my summer? I want to read by the pool. But you know what? Instead of complaining the whole time, even though I just did complain, I'm gonna embrace it, and we're gonna have a little cozy moment. I love me some cozy clothes, so I'm repping them. And I don't know if you can tell by what you see back here, but it is actually a mess. I don't even know where everything goes anymore. I still haven't put back my TBR cart either. So this little guy is literally just still full with my books, and I don't really have a place for all of my books right now. I haven't been good about putting them back, which is the biggest problem. And I have gotten a lot of new books over the past few months since I have like originally done my layout of my bookshelves. If you haven't seen that video, go check that video out, because that was whenever I first got these bookshelves. And things have changed a little bit here and there, but I kind of just want to like change it up. I feel like it's just not looking the way I want to, like the way it's organized and stuff like that, especially with all of my new books. It's just not gonna work. So we're gonna change it up. The first thing that I want to do though is I want to stamp all the books that I have read recently, probably over the past few months. I don't know when the last time I stamped a book was, so I'm gonna have to figure that out before we do this. While I am doing that though, I'm gonna continue listening to the audiobook that I was listening to earlier while I was doing my reading journal, and then I ended up listening to it later today, kind of like while I was getting ready and doing my workout and stuff like that, which is Love at First Book by Jen McKinley. This was the same author that wrote Summer Reading that I read last year, and I enjoyed it. I think I rated it like a 4-star. I really liked the couple in it, and like, I don't know, I just like enjoyed it. I thought it was good, so I wanted to read this one because it is like the second one in that series, but it's based in Ireland, and she has like an internship being an assistant of one of her favorite authors, so she's trying to help her like write a new book, and then she's also like working at a bookstore as well. And this is an audiobook, obviously you get the accents, like the Irish accents. Loving that. I don't know, it's just like fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 42% through. as you guys saw, I set my books and then I started doing the romance portion of my bookshelves, or I guess the romance side of my bookshelves, and I forgot I recently ordered a book, so let's go ahead and open it. Oh my god, it's stunning. I haven't seen this in person yet, but it's a novel love story by Ashley Poston. Don't really know. I really enjoy The Dead Romantics by her, and I really want to read The 7-Year Slip, but I've been feeling really slumpy, so I don't want it to have a bad reading experience just because of how like I'm feeling right now with reading. But I am really excited to read this soon. I'm gonna read The 7-Year Slip super soon, and then read this very soon as well. I just enjoyed her writing so much in The Dead Romantics, and I've heard that if I like that, I'm gonna love The 7-Year Slip. Not sure about this one though yet because I haven't heard too much about it, and I don't want to until I read it. But her writing reminds me a lot of Emily Henry, so I'm very excited. I just wanted to unbox this so we could put it on the bookshelf. And also, I'm trying to decide if I want to go to Target or just order some books online at Target because it's Circle Week and they're having buy 3 get 1 free. I think that's the deal, or buy 2 get 1 free. It's buy 2 get 1 free. Yeah, and that's just like one of the best book deals that we have as book readers. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Normally I would like at least buy a few, but right now I feel like I have so many on my TBR right now that I just really want to focus on my physical TBR. Maybe just getting like down to like 2 rows on my TBR cart and then buying more. I feel like I just have so many books that I want to get to that I already own and have, so I don't really know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's probably not gonna be in this video anyways. Okay, anyways, let's get back to reorganizing. Okay, I just finished my bookshelves. I'm really happy with how they look. I didn't change like a ton of things, and that's why I felt like it didn't need to be like its own like organizing my bookshelves video. I felt like I could just put it in here, but I'm really happy with how everything looks, and I feel like I have room to grow, which is really important. This is the fantasy side. I didn't really change that much up with it. I didn't really change anything on these 2 shelves. I just put these 3 books back, but these are still the same. This shelf right here is a little bit different, but still not crazy different. This shelf is the same as I had it before. I love having my ACOTAR books displayed. I really want to find a way to display my Throne of Glass books as well. Maybe I'll do that, but like with the Throne of Glass books, and then put my ACOTAR books somewhere else, maybe like with my Crescent City books or something. But I know I cannot keep all of my SJM books together because like there's just not enough room on one shelf. And then down here we just have the fantasy books that basically didn't fit up here. These are all of the fantasy books that either I'm really excited to read or I really enjoyed, and these are ones that either I'm not as excited to read or I didn't enjoy as much. And then I just kind of have some Lego and then like a little bit of tabs and stuff like that. Normally whenever I'm like sitting in my chair right here, this is where I sit and I put like my drink and a snack and all my annotating stuff right there. And then down here are my mysteries and thrillers and stuff like that. Don't have that much of those. And then just like a random basket with stuff in it. And then this is the romance side. As you can see, it's looking a lot different. Up on top we have a lot of interconnected standalone series and then some of my summer books. And these are just books that really like aren't like my most favorite, I guess. I do really enjoy Icebreaker and Wildfire, but I don't know, they're just up there because that's just how it worked. And then I just got a little plant, a picture of me and my parents. Next up we have my bookends. Literally obsessed with these. I've had a few people ask, and these are from Home Goods, so I don't really have like a direct link to them. These books right here are just a bunch of random romance standalones, and then we go down and then we're starting to get into like some of my favorite authors. So we have the Heartstopper series. We have volume 5 displayed because we love volume 5. And then we have my cute little Tulip Jellycat, which is so cute. We have the Chestnut Spring series minus Reckless because I'm currently reading that before bed. Cute little photo and cute little cake Lego thing above that, and then all of my Lynn Painter books. And then we go down, we have a photo of me and Luke, all of my Emily Henry books and Abby Jimenez books and Ashley Poston books, and then a little plant which is from IKEA. I love a good hanging plant. I kind of want to get hanging plants with like macrame holders and like put them maybe like in this corner over here and then have my chair under that or something like that. I don't know. Let me know where I could get those, or if you guys think that would be cute. I've always thought that would be really cute. But yeah, these are like my 2 shelves with like all my favorite authors and like the books that I'm really loving lately. And then I have all of my Allie Hazelwood books right here too. Love her so much. She just could not fit on these 2 shelves. And then I have some nonfiction, some literary fiction, which I'm starting to get more into and loving them. And then I just have these 2 baskets filled with some crochet stuff and then some book journaling stuff. And then the last shelf we have our Singapore Legos and then just some books that aren't really my favorite. Now I probably say this every single time I redo my bookshelves, but I am like so obsessed with it, but they just look so good. Like I literally love them so much, and every night whenever I go to bed, the fact that I just stare at my books and I'm like, oh, like I need to read this, I need to read this, or like, oh my gosh, maybe I could organize it that way or do this, or oh, I want to reread that, like that type of thing. Like it just makes me so excited to the point where maybe my book should not be in my room. Maybe eventually in like a year or two, whenever we don't have a 1-bedroom apartment, maybe we'll have like an office with the books in there, because maybe that is also a reason why I do not sleep very well, because I literally get so excited thinking about all my favorite books. I'm just like so excited to film in front of it too. I feel like they look so good. I'm so excited. Oh my god! Where is she going with this? Where is this? Why? I simply don't understand. How did we get here? Wait, what? Why does this say epilogue? Wait, what? Wait, I thought it was like 400 pages. What is going on? That's where it leaves off? Wait, what? So what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? Okay. I really thought I had so much more to read of the book. Tell me why I thought it was like 400-ish something pages. Nope. 377. End of epilogue. Okay. Okay. I really don't know how I feel about this book. Okay, as you guys saw, I finished Reckless. And it's been quite a few days because I've been very conflicted on my feelings towards this book, which you guys have seen a little bit of, and you'll see a little bit more in the spoiler section. I think I was afraid throughout the video to say anything that was like about me not liking this book so much, just because I know that we share this bond. I've recommended Powerless to so many of you guys. You guys have commented that you love it so much and you share the same feelings about it, and I know that we as a community, we're all very excited for Reckless to come out. But for one, I want to be honest with you guys. And again, I know so many of you guys love Powerless just as much as I did, so let me just say, if you did love this book, that's okay. Reading is so subjective. I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum, but alas, at the end of the day, I unfortunately did not love this book. And I feel like since I have notes on here, that's how you know I feel a certain type of way. So starting out the book, the first 100 pages, I was really enjoying it. I read the first 100 pages in like a day, which is my normal-ish reading speed, especially whenever I'm reading for videos. And I was really enjoying it. I was like, okay, like we're getting somewhere. It started out with a great bang, like I already said at the beginning of the video. And then we surpass the beginning and we get to the middle. It just felt so extremely repetitive as I kept on reading, and I feel like since there was like a huge main plot point and a huge thing that these characters were like trying to get done or get to, I guess you could say, that there wasn't really that much plot otherwise. So I think that's where this book was kind of like struggling, and it kind of made it feel a little bit all over the place. Like there were so many things that happened, and yet it had no real effect truly on the story. And that's why I also mentioned like it felt kind of like the adventures of Peyton and Kai, because that's kind of what it was. So it was like really slow in the middle for me, super repetitive. I wasn't really enjoying it, and honestly like kind of made me feel stumpy, kind of made me not want to read, which was really disappointing and disheartening and shocking for me considering how much I love Powerless. Now I don't think that has anything to do with the writing. I think that the writing was great and wonderful. I was still kicking my feet and laughing and giggling and enjoying so many quotes in here, which I'll talk about in the spoiler section too. I have so many things tabbed, I have so many things underlined, and I love Kai, I love Peyton. I actually really enjoyed Peyton's like character growth throughout this book too. There were so many things that I did love, and once we got to like 70 pages left, I really got intrigued and interested again, and I couldn't put it down. But comparing how much I enjoyed the last 70 pages to how much I enjoyed the middle, I just like I just don't know how I feel about this book like as a whole, especially because like I already said, kicking my feet, giggling, loving the writing, loving the banter, loving the characters, the character development, the growth, the relationship. I was literally rooting for them the entire time. But then again, another thing that I noticed is there were quite a few typos in my copy. I don't know if everybody noticed this or if that's how it is in like every single copy out there or what, but I've noticed with books that gain a lot of I noticed with books that gain a lot of popularity very quickly, like Powerless did, the second one tends to be a little less flushed out, a little less edited, a little less cohesive. And the biggest comparison I can make, at least for me, again, reading is subjective, but I love Fourth Wing so much. I read it, I really enjoyed the character, the plot, the dragons, the school, everything that had to do with it. And then I read Iron Flame. That book reminds me so much of this situation because I enjoyed the characters. The first one was a 5-star read for me. I enjoyed where the plot was going in the end, but then things just didn't really make sense and they weren't cohesive, and the storylines just like, I honestly, I don't know. And again, because I feel like this one wasn't as cohesive and fleshed out as Powerless was. Powerless was so good. Even during my reread, I was loving it so much, so it's not even comparing it at the first time that I read it to now, because both times I loved it. But it makes me nervous for Fearless coming out because it's coming out in April, and I just really hope that it is fleshed out, it is done well, it is complete, because I think that this book had so much potential. I feel like almost nothing happened in this book. Like, even regarding the relationship, I think that there were things that happened in the relationship, but even then, like, I don't know. I'm just so incredibly conflicted. Like, how can a book make me giggle and kick my feet and laugh and love the characters and the world so much, and yet it make me feel slumpy? Huh? Like, you know? And since I am so conflicted, I'm just gonna do like a rating range. I don't think this is higher than a 4-star. I think that is the highest rating that I will give it while I'm thinking about it. I'll probably have my final rating in my reading wrap up at the end of this month. So if you want to see that, look out for that, or look out for my Goodreads rating whenever I finally post that. But I think this could be anywhere from a 3.5 to a 4. These are my feelings. These are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. We're gonna go ahead and get into the spoiler section. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below the bow and arrow emoji if you watch until the end, so I know who the real ones are. And if you want to keep up with me on the daily, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Goodreads. Goodreads especially if you want to keep up with what I'm reading in real time. And this is your last warning. We are getting into the spoiler section right now. Okay. You've read it, right? Okay, let's go. Hi, Azera, the man that you are. Them kissing, not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting them to kiss in that moment whenever he found her on the roof, but I'm actually like so, like, I'm happy it happened. Like, I turned the page and I was like it was like a big reveal, and I kind of loved it. So him burying a body for her. Okay. This girl is the very thing I can't seem to escape. Can't seem to go anywhere without the remnants of her following. Where I am, she is. Whether it's in the flesh or in the fragments of my mind. And where there is flame, there is always shadow. She is my inevitable. Page 67, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me? Excuse me. Also didn't think we were going to be getting a lot of chapters of Kit, but it's also interesting to see how he's becoming a villain, and I'm really intrigued to see more. I'm definitely not the only person who's thought this, but since she's literally the Silver Saver known for her silver hair, just dye your hair, Peyton. Who would have thought? She rolls her eyes. Sympathy doesn't look good on you, is there? Everything looks good on me, Gray. I flash her a smile. Don't lie. Okay, hot. Okay, hot. Yeah. One thing I find interesting about Kai's power is that obviously he has to like pull from other elites, and he like wields their power, right? But if there's no elites around, like in Door, which is where we are currently, besides his Imperials, like they're not close right now, like he can't wield any power. So he's basically powerless. Like, he's basically an ordinary, which I kind of love because it's like the other side of the coin. Like, he experiences both sides, especially because he's literally an enforcer who gets rid of ordinaries. Like, that's his job. The fight is really good so far. I literally just got to the part where he took off her mask. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about Kit. I liked him in the first book, but I just knew that it was going to be Peyton and Kai all the way. Like, I didn't really root for him in the, like, romantic way. So I'm interested to see where his character goes. And I'm also just kind of shocked that this is only 400 pages. I'm just really excited that they're interacting again now, because I'm like literally freaking out. Not that like the beginning was slow. I already mentioned this in the video in the non-spoiler part too, but like it's just different than how I feel when they're interacting, because literally my heart goes crazy and I kick my feet and I giggle and I love it the whole time. Okay, I'm sorry, but the part where they almost drowned, what was that? What was that? Why were we trying to give me a heart attack? Didn't appreciate that. Also, Kit with like the ring box, does that mean that he's gonna like propose to some? That's what I'm envisioning anyways. I'm picturing like a tiny little ring box. He said it could like fit in the palm of his hand or something like that. And like, who is he gonna propose to? It's not gonna be Peyton, right? Because that doesn't make literally any sense considering she's an ordinary. Also, I feel like Kit's gonna do something mad stupid. Mad stupid. I don't know if it's the proposing thing. I don't know. I just don't know what that man's gonna do. I don't really know. I don't know where this is going, and I think that is like kind of like stressing me out. I just need some more plot. I need some more plot. He has me screaming, giggling, crying, kicking my feet. What am I supposed to do? So random, but I cannot stop thinking about them kissing after they were in the sewer. Like literally, they both puked. I'm pretty sure before. I know Kai puked whenever they got out. That is disgusting. Literally so gross. The Ava stuff is really sweet, how he just like shares Ava with Peyton. I think that's really, really sweet. The part with them in the field, I was kind of eating that up. Like, I'm glad that we are finally to the point where we're really getting to the plot. I just got to the point where they're Vac and Isla, and obviously Kit is there, and I'm to the point where they're like talking to each other. I just know I need to film my reaction because I feel like it is going to be crazy. I feel like he's gonna do something so— why do I think he's gonna propose to her? Why? I just feel like he's gonna do something so incredibly stupid. And also, oh my god, the love confection, the love confection? Nope, the love confession went so hard. Out here I am Kai and nothing more. Out here I am powerless, a monster without an ability to hide behind, an enforcer free from his masks, a man shouting his love for a woman. So if even a sliver of your soul longs for mine, I'll spend the rest of my life trying to deserve it. Because living without you is only bearable when I know you are out there still living too. Ugh, it's time to finish. Oh my god! Literally, where are they going? Where is she going with this? Where is this? Why? He proposed to her. He's so unwell. Kit, are you good? Bestie, are you good? Because obviously something ain't right. Wait, what? Why does this say epilogue? Wait, I thought it was like 400 pages. What is going on? That's where it leaves off? Wait, what? Oh my god. Literally, poor Kai. I literally feel so bad for Kai. I just want to know what Peyton is thinking at this point as well. I don't know how this is gonna play out. I don't really understand, I guess, the reasoning of why, unless Kit's not mad and he's actually thinking about the things that like Peyton said to him and stuff like that during the trials, like about how he should get to know everybody in society and like why should a society be like basically like killing ordinaries, all that kind of stuff. Like, I just don't really know what's going on in his head, if he's actually like sane and realizing what his father was doing over years and years and years was just like the wrong thing to do. And I'm also confused because Callum is his like royal something, like his royal like not bestie, Katie. I can't even come up with a word for it. Like his royal like secretary or whatever. Like he helps him, advisor, his advisor. Callum is his advisor. And Callum is also the mind reader that was a part of the resistance. So I'm really, really confused. Also, the whole Peyton not being her dad's actual child, meaning that's why she's an ordinary, and like the whole mixes thing was super interesting too. I'm literally so confused right now. But I feel like Mr. Callum, like maybe this was like his grand plan, because he was like, okay, like Kit's literally going insane. I'm gonna use this to my advantage and actually get the things I want done through Peyton, because he's like a part of the resistance. And then if Peyton is queen, she'll have some powers, but I don't know if it's like she's gonna be queen so like Kit can like hurt her. In a way, I have no idea. Like making her queen of the land that she literally loathes and hates, that's her punishment? I don't know. And it's not like he knows exactly what happened whenever she killed his dad. Like even Kai was saying that like he gets it now, because obviously the king literally came for Peyton, tried to kill Peyton, and she was just defending herself. Like she could not get out of that alive, period. I mean, like she probably did want to kill him too. I mean, we all know she did, but she wasn't just gonna like go for the king if obviously there was like no reason. I don't know. I'm just shook that it ended so abruptly. I guess I thought we had so many more pages, but I really don't know how I feel about this book. Okay, we are now to my spoiler review. I'm gonna try my best not to repeat everything that I said earlier, because you guys already know those thoughts, but I'm just going to probably just say my exact examples, referring to the notes once again. Okay, so my main qualms and issues. Obviously, I thought it was repetitive. The main things that felt repetitive were the banter and the dialogue and the conflicts. The conflicts to me, which I already mentioned a little bit, but they got into a conflict and there was zero consequence afterwards, and it just felt like nothing was gonna happen. Like I literally just like knew they were okay. Like I wasn't scared for our characters at all. And I feel like it's fine in a book when a lot of things happen. Like I'm thinking about the Throne of Glass series right now. So much happens in this series, and yet I do not feel this way towards these books. Here are all my examples for the conflict thing. He takes off her mask, she takes off his. He captures her, she escapes. He captures her again, she escapes again. He captures her again, she escapes again. And then Lenny and the Resistance get them. We learn about mixes briefly, and then we hear nothing from them for the rest of the book. And then that other guy, Raphael, captures them. And then they get free, and then they're possibly gonna die in a sewer. Love that scene. I'll be completely honest. Love, love, love that scene. And then they're fine. And then every time they get injured, they have nothing to clean it up with. They're just like, oh, this'll have to do. Let's just flush it out with some water and tie it up in an old scrap. Jesse, they were out in the desert for so long. How are they okay? Like, so much happened, and yet nothing did. It feels like. Nothing besides the progression in their relationship and the love confession. And Peyton had a lot of character development, which I already talked about at the beginning. And I remember whenever Linny and the Resistance came to get Peyton, I was like, okay, we're getting in there, we're getting in there. I'm excited, we're getting other characters, we're getting more Resistance stuff. And then they were just like, yeah, the Resistance, it's just like, we're over. And then I get captured. I'm like, what? I was honestly really hoping that with the mixes and stuff like that, and with her finally explaining to Kai everything that happened with like her dad and stuff, like I thought they were all gonna become a Resistance together, and then they were gonna try and like outsmart Kit in a way, but also like make Kit understand what was going on and make them come to their side and all that kind of stuff. And it just kind of felt like there was no plot in the middle. Like the only plot really was just them going back to Kit and then the ending. And you guys might be thinking I'm being way too harsh on this book, but I feel like the only reason is just because I love Powerless so much and I saw so much potential with the characters, and I love the world, I love the characters. It's just really, really disappointing. And then again, like I mentioned earlier, things started to pick up in like the last 70 pages, mainly whenever Peyton started reading the journal entries from her dad. And then I felt the same way I felt at the beginning. I couldn't put it down. And don't get me wrong, there were some things that I loved about it. Some other things were like them in the field, the love confession, every time Kai is there opens his mouth. And I love the world so, so much again, but it is just so... I don't know. It's just disappointing because I was just expecting so much more. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My battery's about to die, but I hope you guys enjoyed Reckless at least more than I did. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on all my socials. Leave your Reckless thoughts in the comments down below, and I will chat with you guys soon. I love you guys so much. Bye. This is so weird. I look so small. Slide. Slide.
For the vlog.
Salad for dinner. I love you, sir. I don't really know where to put the camera. But just let me know if I should buy more books. Let me know. Hello? Oh my gosh, that scared me.